YouTubers, Mike Martin's here, Mike Martin's channel. I've received about 40-50 messages today, guys. Sorry, so late to get to you guys. From Australia. I get a lot of viewership in Australia. How much? More than Canada. The #1 country that views my channel is Australia. With, I don't know, like 1.4 million views just in the last 2 years, year and a half, 3 years. But now it's Australia's king when it comes to viewership. And I was bombarded this morning. I was bombarded on Facebook, Instagram, to talk about what's happening with David Icke. And for those of you that don't know, I'll leave a link below to his video where he's stuck in a hotel in Los Angeles. He's basically banned from coming into Australia and doing his shows. He said he had a bunch of shows ready to go in Melbourne and I think Sydney. And this is really scary. And like he said, this should scare you right to the bone. And he's 100% right. A lot of my videos have been targeted too, and it's all Australia. All my Australia housing crisis, Australia debt bomb, Australian mortgage powder keg. Now I'm calling it the Australian house arrest. Over the years, I've been telling people, like in Vancouver, Australia, Auckland, stay away from these overinflated prices, warning people. And I get a lot of people every day thanking me and saying, Mike, you really helped me a lot. I'm from Sydney. I got a divorce because of you, but you know what? I'm not in the rears because of you either. And David Icke, like I get it. I'm here on my end. You know, I'm not going to Australia anytime soon, right? And I don't think enough people know me anyway, right? But David Icke's a big deal, and it happened first in New Zealand with Lawrence Sutherland and Stefan Molyneux weren't able to speak at a speaking tour they were doing. And they were disallowed from speaking. And because the owners of the speaking, they had to get permission from the board or the community board or whatever it is there in those towns and cities, they weren't available to vote it in or allow them to use any of the venues. So they tried to reschedule somewhere else and they weren't allowed. Now, David Icke, I mean, he's stuck in the air. He's stuck in a hotel. He was supposed to be, you know, he flew, I guess, from the UK, from London, outside of London. I think he flew into LA, and then I think he was going to go out to Australia when he was revoked and told that he could not do his speaking tour that he planned. Is it because now he's right? Is it because now what he's saying is starting to make sense? How can you not be allowed to enter a country because if what you're saying is going against what the local government doesn't want you to know or doesn't want you to hear, or what they don't want you to feel? Because it's getting to a point right now where, you know, a lot of people are asking me, Mike, why do you care so much about the Australian housing market? It's because every English-speaking country is under attack right now. Every Commonwealth, Anglo-American, Anglo, whatever you want to call it, is under attack. You know, they need to infiltrate us somehow, and they did it with the housing bubbles. They've done it with slave wages. They've done it in many, many ways to get at us. You know, they did it in the Middle East, but they used war. They did it in, you know, it's different angles of there's like different sides to this Rubik, to this dice, okay? And every side is playing a different part. But the problem is we're only seeing one side of the die every time. But instead of a D6, we're rolling a D20, a D&D die, big D20. We're not seeing what all the other numbers, no one's seeing, we're just seeing the one, and that's all we're stuck on, is that one. And that's why I've been talking about what's happening in Australia, because Australia, in my opinion, and I said this 4 years ago, since the 2010 Olympics there, housing prices have been skyrocketing just like in Vancouver. It's gotten so bad that everyone had to mass exodus their cities. And I've made videos about this. I said Australia's going to experience a 40 to 60% crash in the next couple of years. And this was years ago. And all my videos are taken down. Or not taken down. Some of them have been taken down. And a majority of them have been demonetized. Yeah. And now I'm making videos, yearbook videos, okay, showing what Sydney used to look like in 1955. And all that, and that's getting flagged for racism. I even have the email I could open for you guys, show you guys. So now, how many little guys like me are getting picked apart or trying to push us to lose confidence in the good fight or creating discussion? How many of us are being targeted? And why Australia? The amount of videos I got deleted from just Australia is absolutely phenomenal. And it's just Australia. The New Zealand housing crisis isn't that bad. The ones I did for the New Zealand housing crisis, to be very frank with you guys, isn't that bad. That's all monetized. But you know they have a problem with your videos when they're all demonetized and removed. You know what I'm saying? So, look at that. I'm just bombarded with emails from Jay here. Watch the day Aussie freedom died. David Icke banned from Land of Freedom. Oh, man. There's another one here. Look. Mike, David Icke was banned. Mike, can you cover David Icke? Mike, David Icke is no longer... So, here it is. Look. On my end... See? Australia. YouTube. Confirmed that it's not suitable. So, it's getting flagged. Why are my videos getting flagged when there's nothing wrong? I'm very vanilla too, you know. I rarely bring up the V word, you know. I rarely bring up the J word. I rarely bring up anything that's like that. And see, David Icke is extremely powerful when it comes to how he uses his words. He's brilliant. He's phenomenal when it comes to looking outside the box or looking outside, looking in, and kind of giving us the whole narrative, but from a very unique perspective. So all these years, they're rambling on about David Icke being a madman, he's a lunatic, and then now, like he mentioned in his video, and then now, all of a sudden, it's a problem. He's a problem. God forbid somebody opens their mind and thinks outside the box. So, he commented on Australia being a one-party system. Oh, I did a video a while back, Mike Martins for Prime Minister of Australia. It was taken down and it was put back up. It was taken down and then it was put back up a year or two ago I did. And I promised to fix the housing crisis, ban foreign investing and all that stuff. And all that stuff's happening in New Zealand right now. Somebody's listening to somebody. Something is getting out. And it started with Alex Jones and a whole bunch after that. And now it's David Icke. And I really feel for him. I could see in his eyes. I could see the stress he's got sitting at that hotel. Man, Dave. You know, David, I would honestly recommend go out, maybe have a drink or two. You're in LA for a while. Just, you know, soak in some nice weather. It's pretty cold up in the UK right now. I'm not saying to forget about it, but maybe de-stress a bit. Because he's doing all he can as a human being, as a person, that's willing to take the risk, that's willing to take the next step that most of us don't want to. He's a true believer in what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. He's a true believer in karma. I know we can't scientifically prove that karma is real. I get that. But I believe it's there. He's a true believer in a lot of things, and for him to be canceled and shut down just like that, it shows where things are headed in Aussie land. Who would have thought Australia would have been the first domino to fall to tyranny, or to fall to... And these people disallowing him to come in are speaking on behalf of all Australians and declaring David Icke not allowed in the country. Yay! Why are you speaking for everybody else? That's the problem. When someone's taking the words out of your mouth and telling you what you should be listening to and what you should be referring to, becomes a problem, guys. You know, the reason why I have a dog in this fight, a big dog in this fight, is because I have 3 children. And I have another one coming in 3 weeks. And I love my family. I provide for my family. And I definitely got a dog in this fight. And it's scary to see where things are headed. Anyways, guys, Australia is the first domino to fall. Housing, brain drains in all cities, mass exodus to Hobart and other cities because the major cities are just so overpriced. I'd have predicted all this years ago, not a year ago, not a year and a half ago, years. People have been following me. Hey, what do I know? I sell games for a living. I sell board games. Heck, I sold so many board games today, believe it or not. It's very interesting. I think Australia's definitely... Australia surrendered in their guns I think it was a decade ago. And now, what is happening... It's concerning. It's very concerning. People should be allowed to... They're branding it as like it's this huge, rally of the people. A rally. They're branding it as one of those 1939 rallies that I'm not going to bring up, or 1933 or 34 rallies that I dare to bring up on ThemeTube, because it's not YouTube, it's ThemeTube. Anyways, David, I really hope David Icke, Dave, you're in LA, just soak up a bit of sun for now. Sit on your balcony, enjoy the planes landing, watching the planes land where you're there by the airport. Just take it in, buddy. Just enjoy what you got there for now. And plan on your next move, Because the people are with you. A lot of people are with you. A lot of people. So I know you're in Australia watching this. I know you are. And I need you to share this and get this out there. Please. I've been targeted. My videos have been targeted just Australia. And then when I said David Icke banned from Australia, yeah, something's happening in Australia. And then my New Zealand housing crisis. There's no problem talking about New Zealand housing and what's happening and people being bought out of the market. UK, no problem. Canada, no problem. United States of America, no problem. Ireland, Scotland, no problem. But Australia is a problem. Why? And I have all the emails to show you guys if you want me to prove it. What's the problem with Australia? And he could be right. It's the day Australia lost its freedoms, or it lost its... Man, I don't even know how to put words to this, man. I wish I could make this broadcast in Portuguese or Spanish, because I could find better words to throw into this damn thing. Let me know what you guys think. Share this, get this out there. I'd like to know. And I'm concerned. And if you have a dog in this fight, and you have kids, and you're seeing what's going on, because whatever happens in one English-speaking country, it happens in all the other ones. If you follow the housing bubble that I've been following for the last 8, going on to 9 years this summer, you will know I'm not just full of hot air. You'll know that it's a domino effect in every country. And it's affecting only English-speaking countries. Who are they replacing us with? That's the question. Comment below.